Hello, welcome to the channel, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at the JVC RC660 stereo radio cassette recorder. A bit of a show and tell and a quick service today really. This particular one, on the face of it, looks like it's got great potential. It comes with the original box, instructions, guarantee, all that kind of stuff. Original polystyrene, so it should make the basis of a really nice unit. It does have the original aerial and pretty much most of the original knobs and what have you as well. However, it isn't without its problems. It's had a knock in transit, so there's a couple of big dents in the box which I want to push out, but that's not the end of the world. But we've got a broken stroke detached push button there from the transport controls for the tape mech, and this particular one is the fast forward. I might be able to bond it on, but it is supposed to screw through, so it is actually broken a bit as well. So I might resin it on, and if not, I'll see if I can find a replacement from a donor unit. As I say, quick show and tell, so I'll run through the features. Master volume control on this and a master tone. Headphone outs. You've got a 4-band radio, so you've got your FM and then long, medium and short wave with your fine tuner there for the short wave tuning. Master tuning is done by the dial at the front, and got a mono stereo switch on the side and a master function switch just on the top here as well, which is the radio and tape. Simple as that. In terms of the dial cord arrangement for this, you actually move the dial on the top and then you can see the needle moving up and down on the front. So that's that. As I say, this particular one is pretty dirty. It's grimy even just touching it now. It's got old stickers and labels on it where people have marked their favourite stations in the past. Various other food and drink stains, as you might expect of things of this age. The pots are really scratchy and noisy on this one. So I thought, you know what, let's just do a quick video on it, crack it open, give it a bit of a service, clean the pots, clean the switches, change the belts, see if we can do something about that detached transport control, give the whole thing a deep clean and a polish, and make it look like the original decent set that it once would have been. So that's the introduction sorted. Let's get it on the towel of destiny here, turn it over, see what's inside. But the first thing we'll do is detach the knobs. Can't remember on this exactly what needs to come away or not. It's been a while since I worked on a 660. The main tuning dial is a little reluctant right now, so I'm just going to leave it for a minute and we'll get these screws out the back. The back case is away as simple as that. No transformer or anything like that. That's all built into the main unit just here. So all we've got is a little ground strap from the battery compartment. So we'll clean this up later. But first, just take a look at the insides. So we've got the radio board just here. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Ferro rod antenna just there for your AM. You've also got your selector switch for your FM as well. You've got your mixer chips and demodulation chips just here. So that's all the radio sorted, but I don't think there's any problem with that per se. Just needs clean of the switches. The bit we're interested in is this section here, because just under here lies the cassette mech. I can see the belt in there. Doesn't look too bad, to be honest, but we'll change it anyway nonetheless. And then this is just the power supply board just here, so we don't need to be worrying about this one. Right, let's get this away, see what the cassette mech looks like. So I've moved the board back here just so as we can have a little bit of a look at it. and clean any relevant sort of pots and stuff like that. But here we go, here's the belt, and the main drive belt. Well, I've seen worse, but it's still got that teardrop shape, sort of deformed state to it, so it's going to have a bit of wow and flutter, which isn't ideal. So yeah, we'll clean the pulleys up, get a new belt on, go from there. Also, I'd like to get the mech out, just see if we can address the other side. Obviously we can clean the heads and what have you from the other side, but also, there we go, I can see what's going on with this broken transport control now as well. It's sort of it has broken away. It's literally just, yeah, it has broken. It'll bond in, it'll glue back on easily enough, and it's mostly in compression anyway, except when it springs back, so it's not the end of the world, to be honest. A bit of resin will probably sort that. If not, I'll get a donor one and screw that in there. But here is the mech anyway. So yeah, not a great deal to see, and I'm delighted to report that the motor is nice and solid on there. I've worked on a few this week where the motor's mounts have gone and have needed redoing, so that's nice. That's pretty solid. Idler tyre was working okay, so yeah, no worries with anything else. Everything else is geared, there's no teeth missing. The capstan and pinch roller look pretty clean, to be honest. In fact, you can probably see in there, the heads look pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to give this a cursory clean and find a belt for it. The rest of the casing, I've got to say, looks pretty nice. It really does look nice and clean in here. So you can see the speakers, how clean and tidy everything looks. Found a belt that's the right size, so that's all tickety-boo, and I've had a hunt around in the spares, and I have indeed found another RC660 that I can pilfer some parts from. It's a shame because actually it's pretty clean on the front, I've got to say, and I was starting to wonder for a minute whether or not I'd be able to actually just swap the whole front case and stop me having to spend half an hour cleaning up the front of the other one. But I noticed that it's got a nasty crack, it's got a piece missing across there, so that's a shame. However, it does have the original sticker on the cassette door, so I'm thinking I'll probably just swap that around as well whilst I can get to it all, because now that this board's away, there we go, I can get to the door and swap that around. So that might just add a little bit more originality as well, especially given that this unit's got its own box and everything. So just give me 5 minutes and I'll see if I can do some of that. Okay, so the fast forward button has been replaced. We've cleaned the case in, exchanged the cassette door for the one with the label on it. So I'm just going to get this belt on, like so. Get this whole thing back together, give it a decent deep clean. I'll see you on the other side of a fade. So here we have it then, the RC660 stereo radio cassette recorder from JVC. This one always had good potential with its original box, instructions and paperwork, but it had been well used. It had been left out for a long time, it was very dirty and grimy. The pots had got really scratchy and bad on this one. In fact, the volume pot was so bad that the whole unit was really quite unusable. And when you could hear anything, the cassette playback was rather warbly as well. In addition to that, it had arrived with a broken fast forward button on the cassette. That hadn't been disclosed when I bought it. In fact, it had been slightly oversold, to be fair. The description was very short and sweet and rather flattering of this particular unit. But nonetheless, what have we done then? So we've given it a deep clean and polish inside and out, given the cassette mech the usual gentle service and going through, including a new belt. And whilst we were at it, we did take the opportunity to replace the cassette door. Although there was nothing wrong with it, we had a donor unit with one with the original door sticker on, so it seemed a shame not to use that one, especially as we had to pinch the fast forward control off the donor unit as well to replace the one that was broken when it arrived. So we've given the pots and the switches a decent clean, and generally just given it a going through, polished the aerial, got it all working beautifully now. And I've got to say, the radio on these units is absolutely superb. For a fairly modest unit, the radio is extremely selective. It's beautiful and really pleased with it. In fact, I'll just dim the lights now as it'll interfere with the FM, but I'll give you a gentle sweep through the range of what I can receive just where it's at the moment, and you can have a little listen to it.
Maybe a fair reflection on the game, but except that the opposition done it and they got themselves back. Back all the memories, and the memories bring back. I go. I certainly am. All right, good luck. Clash.
The food production has to be subsidised to make
Challenge Jack to me. I began by asking him to describe the umbrellas of Sherpa. It's a musical that is written
For some choral jubilation. All that moonshine. Magnificats by William Cornish.
I mean, I can't call it snow, but the big sort of sleep.
It was raining, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah, with a bit of ice.
Well, the farmers brought the weather in Westminster to pretend.
So that's the radio then. Let's give the cassette a quick listen to as well. So first thing is we'll try that replacement cassette door. There we go, no fuss with that. And fast forward, rewind, lovely. So there we go, the cassette sounds great now, radio sounds fantastic. The whole thing is cleaned up really nicely and it looks like a magical little set now. So really glad to have this one back up and running. That's the JVC RC660 from around 1983. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Please consider subscribing if you do like the content that I put out on the channel. Around 4 out of 5 viewers aren't actually subscribed, so it'd really help the channel out massively if you would like to do that. Thanks again. I'll see you soon. Stay safe in the meantime and all the best for now. Bye bye.